Go on.
Hey, welcome to the Black Spinner Circle vidcast. I'm Al, my co-host Andy. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, we're live on a Tuesday instead of the usual Wednesday. But it's all good. Same shit. Different day, bro. We got two great guests with us tonight. We got
Sure do.
from the Rock All Over You podcast and Eddie Canestracci's YouTube channel. We got Mr. Eddie Canestracci. What's up, dude?
Hey, great to be back here, guys. Got a lot of fun and looking forward to discuss these Cheap Trick albums. There's a lot to say about them.
Yeah.
And from the Almost Human podcast or channel and oh god, I'm fucking spacing on the other.
It's the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. God damn it!
Because me and Eric's podcast is like ripping off their podcast.
Yeah.
So the name is very similar.
Thanks for helping me there.
Oh well. At least you're yourself, man. Your co-host is Ian. Is Ian to the bone?
He's gotten better. Yeah, me and Eric have had discussions about that. So he's gotten better. I've reigned in the beginning. He was like totally just biting from fucking Ian, like saying a lot of his shit. And I was like, Eric, I love you. You're great. And I understand you're a fan. You're a big fan of the Rock and Metal, Combat Podcast, but you can't bite from Ian like that. You got to come up with your own fucking one-liners and shit. He was even opening in the very early episode.
Yeah.
I remember he was even doing the can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you can't do that. But he's gotten like now he does the wrestling pronounce. Like he announces my name like a wrestler, like an announcer. So he's getting like a band that's influenced. They eventually shake off their influences and start having their own voice. So I do think Eric is starting to get his own voice. But yeah, he was. I'm not lying about it. He bit a lot from Ian Wadley.
Hey, regardless of him not being Ian, it's still a damn fine show.
Well, I appreciate that. Rob.
I learned on that show that Bushy loves to trigger people by saying, I like OU812 more than Fair Warning. He says that to trigger people. And
I
then
thought it
he
was
said,
Women and Children first.
I knew it was Comedy Gold.
no, it was Fair Warning. I know he said it on Mark's show. But on his show, he said Fair Warning. And he's like, no, man, that's how I really felt. I'm like, sure. Eddie thinks he's serious. I know nobody on the fucking planet thinks.
I just say this. I love Bushy. Nothing against Bushy, but he's got his own taste in things.
Yeah.
He's got his own taste in things, and a lot of times he likes things that suck. So
No,
the mountain air might do something to him. He's up there.
look, I believe he likes OU812 too. Don't get me wrong. I know that. I mean, look at him. He likes Debbie Gibson and Milli Vanilli and shit like that. I get that. I do get that. But for him to say it's better than Fair Warning, it's his way of retaliating to all of us that says Sammy Hagar sucks. Because I got audio proof of that motherfucker constantly complaining about people that hate Sammy Hagar. Oh, these people say this about Sammy. And then the number one thing, when somebody says, I don't care what anybody says, I like this, they care. They care. And nobody says, I don't care what nobody says, unless they care what somebody says. Anyway, hi, I'm glad to be here. And on tonight's episode, I'm going to do my best impression of Rick Rubin.
I guess at this point, the point's kind of moot to even introduce Ralph. But Ralph Vieira, how are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm laying down.
No.
A medical issue, but it's going to be cleared up soon. But sitting down, it irritates. It doesn't really hurt. It's more like irritation.
Right.
So when I lay down, I don't feel shit,
Well,
And plus, the illegal street drugs help.
Well, it makes the images less static. We got someone like laying down, makes it a little different.
it is, man.
Yeah.
Listen, Ralph has the clout that he can do anything he wants, so I'm not going to interfere here.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You know how I got the clout? You know how I got it?
What?
By listening to Standing on the Edge. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do a vinyl battle between two albums that actually might irritate like some Cheap Trick fans. I don't know, man. I mean, these are considered kind of the bottom of the barrel usually.
Yeah.
Between Standing on the Edge and The Doctor, the two mid '80s Cheap Trick albums. Standing on the Edge came out in '85, produced by Jack Douglas, but he didn't finish it. Tony Platt came in and finished it. And then The Doctor came out in '86, and Tony Platt produced that one. That was the last album to feature John Brandt before Tom Peterson came back on the next album. But these two albums are usually considered to be kind of the lower end of the Cheap Trick catalog. But I personally I hadn't listened to either of them in a long time, so it's kind of nice to revisit them. And they're not turds. I like what they are. I like them. Production values very 80s on both of them, but we'll get to that as we go through it. But we're gonna do a little segment called "What's Spinning?" Like, what have you been listening to the last couple of days, week, whatever. If you guys have anything, Edwin, you got anything, bro?
Well, I was just listening to these two Cheap Trick albums in the mid '80s, Standing on the Edge and The Doctor. So I was listening to that refresh because I don't, especially Standing on the Edge, I haven't listened to in a long time. Yeah, so I listened to those two albums. I've been on like a fusion kick. I've been listening a lot, for the past month or so. I've been listening a lot of Miles Davis, like funky shit. Been listening to that. Sometimes
his 80s stuff, right?
Yeah, it's 80s stuff actually, which was kind of a neglected period for me. I used to kind of stop at the 70s, but I've been digging his 80s stuff. Something about being like, I don't know, middle-aged, divorced, and in a condo in Tampa has made like slick, like love making 80s jazz kind of, I don't know, work for me. I've been listening to that, and they're just my fucking like rock and metal shuffles. I just like, I have so much music that it's great because then I just listen to shuffles and then things pop up that I haven't like listened to in years, and you get into that. And that's pretty much, I haven't been really listening to anything new. I had to listen to Theater of Pain, Motley Crue's Theater of Pain for the last episode of our podcast. And, if you want to check that out, check that out. It's a mixed review. I'll just say that. Some good songs. Home Sweet Home, no way to fucking Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee wrote that. I'm not convinced of it. Too good. They couldn't write a song that professional.
It was Matthew Trippy who wrote that.
Yeah, and even Mick Watkins, who's on that episode, the great Mick Watkins, he admitted that as much as he loves Nikki Sixx, he doesn't even think Nikki Sixx is playing bass on their fucking albums, which I thought was great. That was like, that was a great moment because he just revealed that right on the show. But 1985, just like one of this album. But and obviously I'm always on an AC/DC kick because they're my favorite band. Right. Me and Ralph, been discussing Fly on a Wall and Blow Up Your Video.
I saw that episode. It was good.
It's multiple. It's like a multimedia event.
Which is it's 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's a trilogy. I did a video, Ralph did a video, and then we came together for a live stream video. And they all did really well too. So it's cool. And check that out. But I've been kind of bouncing between rock and roll music and jazz for the past month. That's what I've been kind of doing.
Oh, that's also, I saw the AC/DC episode with you, Eddie, but I got to catch up on the others. I definitely want to catch that Theater of Pain episode because that's one of my favorite albums by
I got to definitely check that out. I like that album.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It has some good songs. It's definitely better than...
I like it better than Girls, Girls, Girls. And
it's definitely better than Girls.
It's better than everything after that, except for the Karabi album. I mean, there's some songs I don't like on Theater of Pain, but it's got some good moments.
It does.
Yeah, it definitely has its moments. It's my third favorite. So there you go. I like the first two best, then the third favorite,
and then that one third. But earlier today, I was listening to Saints of Los Angeles, and I had texted Al about that. If that's Mick Mars playing on that, because it doesn't even sound like him at all.
Oh, I doubt it's him.
I think it's the
doubt
guy
it.
from 6 a.m., man.
Yeah, that DJ Ashba.
It's basically a 6 a.m. album, really.
Yeah.
I don't think Motley Crue really plays on anything that maybe, I don't know. I even wonder if they play on the Corabi album. I feel like that's Bob Rock and like session musicians. I just don't trust them. I think they're like Kiss. You know, I think they got a singer and a producer and session players, and then they like fake it live. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Well, there's the video of them when they're doing the Corabi album where they're in a warehouse and they're
going to do a few things for the press. Like, yeah, look, we're doing it.
no, but they're really like building the songs and stuff. I mean, it's a great video. I thought.
Oh, maybe. You're more educated on it than me.
I love that album. I love that album. That's like one of my favorite.
I do
that making a Corabi video.
Yeah.
There's that scene where Mick Mars says the N-word.
Oh yeah, that's the.
Did he say that too? Because I know Nikki Sixx said it in public.
No, he said it live. But in the thing, he says the N-word in well, there's only one way to say it. But he really said, he showed something. He goes, it looks like a damn N-word painting. He showed something. This is like a N-word painting.
So half of Motley Crue is racist. It's official now. Because Nikki Sixx and Mick Mars have both said the N-word in a derogatory way.
I'm sure Tommy has said it time and time.
Well, Tommy wants to be black, so I don't think he would say. He would say it with an A. He would say it with the A at the end, not the R. And Vince Neil's half Latino. Well, actually, he probably hates them too. But anyway, so maybe Tommy Lee might be the only one who's doesn't hate black people. Hey, I didn't say it. Motley Crue said it. That's all I'm saying.
No, he doesn't hate himself.
No, the funniest thing though is Nikki doesn't remember playing bass on those albums, but he can remember being all fucked up on smack and writing a book.
Right.
You know, he can remember details on that stuff. But
yeah, he would fake that. He fakes bass playing. He fakes being a heroin addict.
Yeah, well, he's a great faker.
Died and came back. Hey guys, I died and I came back. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Ralph, what have you been spinning? I know you listen to a lot of music. Anything in particular?
Well, I love the new Deep Purple. I've been playing that a lot. I love it a lot. I've been listening to the Runaways a lot lately. I've been getting into the Runaways and Letters to Cleo. Letters to Cleo and the Runaways both feature female singing. I don't listen to metal with girls. You know why? Because the only metal that girls should be into are pots and pans.
But it's all right if they sing rock and roll, though.
Yeah, and what else? There's a band called Zeke. They're like like punk hardcore, like really. It's like Motorhead on speed. It's like faster than Motorhead, but it's got the Motorhead vibe that Motorhead's kind of a crossover of metal and punk. That's how Zeke is, but it's more aggressive. It's more cutthroat. So I've been listening to Zeke a lot lately. And what else? Let me think. And Twist Sister Under the Blade. I love that album. I was cranking that the other day. Great fucking album. And what did we review? Sonic Boom. I listened to that crap. I listened to that garbage.
Did you put that episode out already, right?
Yeah, it was, man, I always hated that album. Then hearing it again, I was like, man, it's worse than I thought, Yeah, I mean, it didn't age well when it was released, but it's even worse now. Like, especially the song Stand. I'll be there with you. I'll be standing next to you.
Danger Us.
Yeah, Danger Us. Yeah. What a fucking album. Yeah, that's what I've been spinning, guys.
All right, Andy, what do you got, bro?
Oh, yeah. On Friday, I woke up and I looked at the stuff that had been released Friday. And to my amazement, Smashing Pumpkins came out with a new album released on Friday called Agori Mori Me. And it is fantastic. They have really gotten rid of the keyboards and all that orchestra stuff and went back to bass, guitar, and drum. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to get more into it. And I've been listening to the Deep Purple album, but after they came out with the news, I've been slamming a lot of Aerosmith as well.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk about Aerosmith breaking up. Aerosmith to me, and I'm pretty sure to a lot of people, they are the greatest American hard rock and roll band out there. And I hope that they stick to their word and it's done. I don't want to see an Aerosmith album come out of new material. No, I want to see maybe hear like some old live stuff. Stuff from the soundboards would be great. But I really hope that they stick to the guns and they are through. They've got nothing more left to prove. They've already proved to everybody that they are one of the best in rock music history. So so I've been spinning some Aerosmith, but mainly rocks because that's my favorite Aerosmith album.
I want Aerosmith to record new music with Sammy Hagar singing.
Wasn't that the rumor like years ago?
Yeah. Sammy said that they asked him to join. That he rejected them.
Isn't that like every band? Did he say that about like
Pantera?
Pantera?
Yeah, he said that about Pantera.
Pantera, not Led Zeppelin, but he alluded to Led Zeppelin, but he didn't actually say it.
Pantera, really? Come on.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, when the news came down about Aerosmith, I started spinning this one. This is the very first Aerosmith album I ever had. I've told the story many times. In the 80s, my dad owned a 4-family apartment building next to where we lived. And it was a guy that lived there. He's kind of a rock and roll dude and stuff, man. And one day, just up and disappeared. It was like 2-3 months. Like he was gone. Nobody knows what happened to him. Nothing. Because my dad was looking for him to get the rent. And finally, my dad was like, well, I got to go inside. I got to go into the apartment. He left everything behind. Stereo equipment, albums, just everything, man. And he left behind a great vinyl collection. This is one of them. Wow. So I was like, I was probably like 12 years old, 11, 12. And this is the first one I really kind of heard about him. Because at that time, Aerosmith was kind of dead in the early 80s. Like nobody was really, they weren't getting played on the radio. I mean, as far as like new stuff. So I remember this one, and this is still the original copy, and I love this album, man. I mean, it's not my favorite Aerosmith album, but it's probably I would say my third favorite, because Rocks is my favorite, and then Toys, and then I love all that 70s stuff. Everything to me up until like Rockin' a Hard Place is awesome, But yeah, I've been spinning this one, and fuck, dude. I mean, and I hadn't heard in a while, but the song that really stood out for me on this one was Spaced. What a tune, man.
Great song.
No, I was just like, holy shit. But I listened to the whole thing, man. It's not a bad song, and it's fucking all good.
Season of Wither is my all-time favorite.
Jesus of Wither. I mean, that's a classic.
I remember. And if you look at that album cover, I don't have proof on this, but while I look at that album cover, I think that logo was drawn by a drug addict.
You ever turn it upside down?
No.
Yeah, it's suggestive.
Oh,
look at the A inside.
A vagina?
Yeah.
the legs up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. If you come up close, yeah.
Yeah. Look. I believe me. I stared at that old logo for years as a teenager. That's my impression. I didn't know that's not a known thing. That's what I.
It's a heart-shaped box.
Pandora's box.
Wow, I never even knew that, bro.
There you go.
It's
you
fun.
learn things when Eddie Castracci looks at things with his pervy mind.
My wife saw, what are you doing with that album in bed?
Speaking of
He's staring at your wings upside down.
Yeah, speaking of Seasons of Wither, I remember when I saw Aerosmith when they toured with Motley Crue. Speaking of the Crew, I remember they did Seasons of Wither. It's one of those times when you look around and 90% of the audience is fucking tuned out. They don't even know what the fuck they're playing. Here I am. I'm on my fucking chair, like yeah, and I'm looking around like everybody's like, huh? Because it's not fucking Ragdoll. It's not like,
that's always been like Ralph Seasons of Wither's always been my favorite. When I was a teenager, Get Your Wings was my favorite. Now it's my third favorite. I would put Rocks, Night of the Ruts, then Get Your Wings, then Toys. than the first album.
Yeah, no, that's the first
They're all close. You know,
Yeah.
they're amazing. I mean, if you're talking about the 70s, it's a perfect run in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a great run, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rocks to me is just like that's like it's a top 5 album for me. Like it's one of my favorite albums of all time. And they were my first concert I ever went to was Aerosmith, the Pump Tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have they did One Way Street at that show. It was really cool. Even as a junior high school dumb kid, like I had already had enough Aerosmith albums that I knew it was cool that they were playing One Way Street. But it was a great show. They did Lord of the Thighs. It was like they opened up Train, kept it rolling. It was an amazing show and a lot of shit from Pump. And Pump, I think, is a great album. I believe Ralph likes it too.
I love Pump. I don't like Love and Elevator and James Got a Gun, but I love the rest.
Oh, that's a great album, man. I think there's a lot of great songs on there. Yeah,
They did D tracks. They did FINE Fine. They did Voodoo Medicine Man. I love when bands like believed in the album that was like the new album. Like I'm disappointed that AC/DC's not doing more from like Power Up because I thought it was a great album and they're just doing 2 songs. Even though it would help Brian to be singing the older shit because that's closer to what his voice is like now. But back then, like the new albums still were like relevant. Like Pump was a relevant album that the fans wanted to hear, and they played it, and it was great. It wasn't just about the old hits. And
because it was a top 10 album Pump for a while.
I saw that tour. It was amazing.
Yeah, great. Yeah, they even did like a cover, like a "Love Me 2 Times" and Red House. It was a great fucking show, and it was my entry into going to see concerts, and it was at the Spectrum, the Philly Spectrum, where Rocky fought Apollo Creed in Rocky 2. So it was an awesome show. And and Aerosmith was like the first band that I ever did the deep dive with. Like they were the first band. My brother got me into them with Permanent Vacation, and that was my gateway album. But then me and my buddy, we got the Gems compilation, which was a great compilation of deep tracks. And when I listened to Gems, I was just like, wow, this is even better in Permanent Vacation. Like this old stuff is really, really fucking great. And I did the Columbia House scam, and I within a month or 2, I had all the 70s albums. And that was where it was with Aerosmith that I kind of acquired taste, I would say, where I wasn't just listening to whatever MTV showed me and whatever was new, where I actually went back to the past and got old. And I would do that shortly after of AC/DC. They were the second band I did that with, but it was Aerosmith was the first band I did that with. And still to this day, those 70s albums, I like some of their 80s stuff, and Nine Lives had a couple good songs, and they would have a few good songs here and there, but they also had a lot of shitty songs too after the 90s. And I was just saying, if Aerosmith stopped with Night of the Ruts or Rock in the Hard Place, to me it would be a perfect run, and those 70s albums. And like Ralph, I was disappointed that they were touring with Joey Kramer because they were so close. They were one of the few bands that had the original lineup, actually 5 members. And it's sad. On one hand, it's sad that Aerosmith's breaking up, but then there's part of me that's you guys fucked it up. You should have stopped. You should have had that last show with Joey Kramer and then end it, and then you guys would have fucking made the Myths. You would have been so cool to have actually ended with the original band, but you got greedy. They got greedy, and they went on for one more run without Joey, and it kind of bit them in the ass. So I have mixed feelings about that. I always love Aerosmith. It's sad that they'll never have to play again, but on the other hand, it's you guys kind of you could have went out in a classier way. So I got mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, look, they were going to play down here, and I wanted to go. But the cheapest seat, I'm talking nosebleeds, were $800.
Yeah.
I'm look, number one, you don't have Joey Kramer there, and I'm not paying $800 for any band.
No.
For nosebleeds. And then I see the set list, and they're doing Seasonal Withers and No More, No More.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite Aerosmith songs. And I'm fuck, if that shit was cheaper, Joey Kramer or not, I'd go. Yeah. But I ain't paying I'm not paying $100 for nosebleeds, much less $8.
Well, that's
I saw them for like $28 when they were young, like doing on the pump tour. You know,
cheap.
you know, and now you gotta pay to see them old.
Oh, and back then the pump tour, it was free parking.
Yeah.
Now it's $50 to park to go see Aerosmith.
Oh man,
More than twice as much as the ticket you paid back in the pump tour.
It was even cheaper for me. My parents dropped me off. It was great. I just went right into the show. They picked me up. It was so fucking cheap. It was just my allowance money.
Yeah, we had free parking at the Miami Arena. There was free parking everywhere. It was beautiful.
I have a poster. It's a reproduction poster of Aerosmith Draw the Line concert ad with AC/DC opening up for them. And this would have been Powerage era, like Bon Scott, you know, AC/DC. And the tickets, I shit you not, on the poster say $8. $8, and it's a real reproduction.
I was going to concerts in the 70s. He remembers those prices.
Yeah, so people in 1978 could see Aerosmith during like the live bootleg Draw the Line like era, and AC/DC opening for them during the Powerage era for $8. You know, I mean, you know, and they say, oh, well, the cost of living, inflation. No. They're just screwing us over now. And back then they weren't. That's just
now ticket prices are way beyond cost of living, dude. It's just it's just greed now.
It's good. And a lot of times. And in fact, it's also a lot of older acts. Like Paul McCartney's like that. I love Paul McCartney. I don't even mind that Paul's out there sounding like an old man, because he is an old man. I prefer that than backing tapes. But I ain't gonna pay $1,000 to hear some old guy that can't sing that well. No. You know, that's like the thing. Like, they're just too greedy, these people. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad.
Well, moving on from Aerosmith to Cheap Trick, our topic for tonight, we're going Standing on the Edge versus the Doctor, track by track. We'll see how this plays out. Which are we keeping now, Andy? Are we keeping score like each of us, or are you going to keep the score?
I'll keep the score.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing track by track. Oh,
yeah, we're doing track by track, man.
All right.
So track 1 versus track 1, track 2.
All right, I got it.
Kind of like Ralph's, when he does a track by track.
I invented that shit, man.
It's all right. If my co-host can bite from Ian Wadley, you guys can bite from Ralph Vieira. It's all right.
Well,
just say like you say, it's an homage.
Yeah.
There's people that write me going, dude, is it okay if I do a track by track on my channel? I was like, bro, I ain't copywriting this shit. Do what you gotta do, bro. There's just so many fucking anal people out there, that would be like, hey, it's mine, man. You can't. Fuck you. Use my shit. Rip off all my shit. I actually put all my music, my 2 CDs, on public domain. Anybody can get my shit for free now. And you can use it on your movie, TV show, whatever.
I bought a damn CD then. I'm just kidding.
Huh?
Al just bought your CD.
No, I bought the CD. I like it, man.
He still prefers that.
I got the vinyl as well.
Ralph's not saying he doesn't prefer you buying a CD, but he's just giving people the option if they're broke ass people.
If you want to stream it, I get it.
Oh yeah, you're a go-getter, man. You're one of those fucking people that get physical media.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the lame ass posers out there. Go ahead, use my music, you fucking streaming anti-heterosexual people.
All right, man. So track by track, Standing on the Edge, released in 85, Doctor 86. So track number 1. We're going to go Standing on the Edge first, then first the Doctor. So Little Sister, track 1's Little Sister from Standing on the Edge versus It's Up to You from the Doctor. Now, Eddie, are you prepared for this? Like, did you do?
Oh, I know these albums fairly well, okay. And I just listened to both of them. So, yeah, I'm definitely prepared.
Okay.
I can do this. Yeah.
So we're going to start with you. We'll go to Ralph, Andy, and then myself. So starting with you, Eddie. Between Little Sister and It's Up to You. Go ahead.
No question. It's up to you. Yeah, Little Sister sucks. But I will say this: the original Jack Douglas produced version, you can actually hear. This is the only song I believe where there is a Cheap Trick's like a rarities album, a compilation that came out, which has the original mix. That is better than that shitty compressed thing that Tony Platt did. I don't know why Tony Platt's only sucked as a producer, because he was an engineer for Highway to Hell and Back in Black. So you think the guy would have.
Some people make better engineers than producers, though.
They do sometimes. That's yeah. So although he might got better on the Doctor. Yeah, we'll save my overall opinion to me. You'll figure it out by the time we're halfway through this, which album I prefer. But the Jack Douglas version of Little Sister is better. It's still not that good of a song, though. It's just kind of a dumb rock and roll song, and there's not a lot of thought behind it. Whereas the other song, even though it's not like one of the better, it's kind of a mid-tier track on the Doctor, it's kind of weird. It's a little inventive. I just like it better. It's a little more like I hear different things in it every time I hear it. Whereas Little Sister, there's something about that just annoys me. It just comes on a little too strong. Like, hey, Little Sister. It's just like, hey, calm down. Keep it in your pants, Cheap Trick. You have not impressed me yet. Don't act like it's a rock and roll party yet. You're coming on too strong. The song's not that strong. Whereas the other song is coming on it's a little quirkier and it's a little different. So it's engaging me. So I'll go with that one over.
It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's a horrible title for a song, but still, I still like it better than Little Sister. Definitely better. Yeah.
All right, Ralph, man, what do you got, bro?
Yeah, Little Sister sucks. It's like romper room rock. I hate it. I hate that fucking song. Where it's up to you. I got to tell you, I bought the Doctor on vinyl for $2 when it was new. No, I'm sorry, it was $3. It was $2.99. It was brand new. It was out maybe 6 months. It was that year, and I bought it. I took it home, and I was horrified. I hated it, But man, through the years, I love this fucking album now. And It's Up to You. It's experimental. I didn't like it the first time I heard it, but now I love it. I love it. It's like experimental with those keyboards that don't sound like that typical 80s, British cigarette keyboards, you know what I'm talking about? Those little bundles of wood in Canada keyboards. So, it's great. It's awesome. I love it. And it's kind of like, it's a little fast moving. I think it's awesome. And it was very unfair of me not to give it a chance. Back when I heard it one time, I never listened to it for many years till I had to do a review on it. Then I, listened to it for a whole month straight, and it really grew on me, man. Love it. I love this song. It's Up to You. So that over Little Sister any day, man.
All right, man. Andy, what do you got, bro?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same thing. I'm going to go with It's Up to You. And the reason for that is what Eddie and Ralph were saying. This song has a personality to it. It really has some kind of emotion to it, when Little Sister's just a rock song that has nothing to it. There's nothing special about it. The lyrics are a little creepy, which I know that sometimes Cheap Trick can write creepy songs, but this kind of went too far on the creep factor. So I'm going to go with It's Up to You.
Oh, well, I guess I'm a creep and like songs that suck because.
Well, you do like some Van Hagar, Al, so you've established this.
Ian, I saw the episode. Ian thinks I should get tuned to the back of the head.
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
Hey, I don't think that, man. Yeah. I'm all for Sammy Hagar fans to live. Their miserable lives.
I'm not one of those ill people though that thinks OU2 is better than anything. Fucking
Dude, nobody thinks that, Al. Nobody thinks that. Bushy doesn't think that. Nobody thinks that.
There's just certain facts that just can't be debated.
Sammy Hagar might think that because he apparently did not think Van Halen was worth kind of paying attention to until Jump. Like when he heard Jump, he was like, "Hey, okay." This is kind of interesting.
He's so full of shit, bro.
But it's Sammy Hagar we're talking about. He gets a pass for sucking.
He's full of shit. He's full of shit. Anyway, I'm picking Little Sister because I like it better. I don't know why I get a California Man vibe kind of from the song. If you really listen to it, there's kind of a little bit of a California Man kind of vibe to it. Not saying it sounds like California Man, but the vibe of it kind of comes off a little bit like, I don't know, that's the vibe I got from listening to it. So I like Little Sister a little better than It's Up to You. It's Up to You. I think the electronic percussion on it was just a little too much for me. And, I'm a big production guy. Andy knows this. I like, the 80s. I mean, like some of that shit just got way too much into the electronic shit, and I felt like that song kind of suffered a little bit from it. So I'm picking Little Sister. I'm the lone wolf on this one. So
Yeah.
That's my pick.
I was reading about why Douglas left during Standing on the Edge. He got into a I think it was like some kind of lawsuit from Yoko Ono.
No, what actually happened? Here's what happened. He's been in a lawsuit for Yoko Ono for many years before that.
Okay.
But while he was recording this album, he ended up winning $3.5 million from the lawsuit. And when he won the $3.5 million, he fucking vanished.
Oh.
That's what actually happened. He fucking disappeared. Man, I got $3 million. Fuck this shit.
I don't need to produce a shitty Cheap Trick album.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm a millionaire now. Fuck this shit. That's actually what happened.
And where did that lawsuit stem from? Was it from Double Fantasy or something?
Yeah, Double Fantasy. I heard some reports they said Milk and Honey too.
Okay.
Oh that
Double Fantasy is where the big money is.
Yeah.
So I figure most of the money was from that if Milk and Honey was involved.
Yeah, Double Fantasy is I think the biggest selling Lennon album and the third biggest selling solo album after Band on the Run and All Things Must Pass. I think those are like the top three. Imagine's pretty big too as a seller, but I think Double Fantasy is the biggest Lennon album.
In my opinion, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he died.
That's a part of it.
Well,
it's a pretty poppy album too, though.
I think the reason that album sold a lot was because of the song "Kiss, Kiss, Kiss, Kiss Me Now."
I like the poppy Yoko stuff.
Kiss, 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 kiss me now. That's what made it
all the album.
But it did have the big hits, Watching the Wheels and Woman.
Yeah. But it is the timing too, though. Yeah, it was out when
where Cheap Trick connection, the song "I'm Losing You" off of Double Fantasy was recorded with Cheap Trick.
Yeah,
Yoko Ono didn't like it and got other musicians to come in and copy what Cheap Trick did. But there is a box set where it contains the Cheap Trick version and a music video. There's a music video.
Oh, I never thought.
Yeah, there's of the "I'm Losing You" with John Lennon singing with Cheap Trick. There's actually a music video for that as well, featuring Cheap Trick and archival footage of John Lennon.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm checking. I'm Googling. I'm YouTubing that shit.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen this either of you guys. I highly recommend you watch this. Their version of Cold Turkey. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That shit blows away Lennon's version. I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And you know that John Lennon actually said that he wished you would have had Rick Nielsen play on it because he said that Eric Clapton choked while playing it. That's a quote that Jack Douglas told the press.
Was it? Well, Clapton was on the smack at the time. So
Yeah.
I mean, they were all in that band. I mean, they were.
Okay, I mean, I love that original John Lennon version, but that version of Xander singing "God, man," that's the thing.
It's insanity.
I would say Xander is like McCartney and Lennon combined.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what I want to say about these two albums. They might not be the best, but Xander sure does sound great.
It's mediocre.
All the crappy Cheap Trick albums They all have great performances from Robin Zander.
Yeah.
Maybe shitty songs, but all these shitty songs have
Yeah,
great.
sounds great.
Yeah, we'll be talking about a couple of these songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some.
There are definitely some songs that are really shitty, but you go, but Xander kind of saves it because he is such a great singer.
Right.
Yeah.
He's definitely on my Mount Rushmore of vocalists, man.
Yeah, man. For me, it's all about Robin Zander and Elvis Presley. Those two are the greatest singers in my world.
Yep.
And then me.
The Dr. Fuckalicious there.
Yeah.
All right, going on to track 2. We're going Tonight It's You from Standing on the Edge versus Rearview Mirror Romance. Eddie,
This
what
is
do you got?
gonna be the only time where it's kind of like a battle. Like, because I really love both these songs. And it's probably gonna be the only time I give the win to a song from Standing on the Edge.
You just spoiled it.
Yeah, well, yeah, Tonight It's You. Yeah, Tonight It's You. Amazing. It's an amazing song. I love this song. Best song on the album. There's like nothing even close. Like, there's a couple songs I do like on this album. It's not a total wash, but still, nothing comes close to, in my opinion, to Tonight It's You. It's obviously the shining song on this album. It is so great. This is like one of those songs where I just know if they had a better fucking video for it, it might have crossed over. But I think a problem with Cheap Trick in the mid-'80s is their videos were shitty. And this was like a time period where videos did matter. Like, just picture Tonight It's You, but with a concept as strong as, like, let's say that Aha song, like Take Me On, like a really clever concept. Like, picture if there was a really clever concept with this song. Like, if those two things combined, I think it could have took off, you know. And Xander was a good-looking guy, and he had an amazing voice. And this song is just pure ear candy. And it's just, the video is just really amateurish and kind of bland. So I just think in 1985, that hurt it. Like, you know, any other time, you know, especially the 80s, I think the videos mattered. And I know, at least that's I have to reason, because when I listen to this, I go, how the fuck was this not a hit in 1985? But, you know, obviously they thought it would be, and then it wasn't. But it's an amazing song. It's one of the greatest, I would say, singles by Cheap Trick. It's a very strong song. And listen, I always focus a lot on Xander. I mean, I love Rick Nielsen, you know, great guitarist and songwriter, but Xander's like, who's really pushes his shit on, you know, over the edge. Right. And it's just like the way he sings this chorus, it just soars. It's very cinematic, and it's so romantic, and you like just get caught up in it. Like, I got chills just thinking about this chorus. I love it. It's an amazing fucking song. And I really like the other song too, though. The other song is a really good, quirky, catchy song, and it has a romanticism to it. And I really love Xander's vocals on that one. But if I have to, you know, if these two songs have to compete in this scenario, yeah, then Tonight It's You is definitely the winner. But I think both great songs. I love both of them. And Xander's the standout on both of them. He's amazing.
All right, man. So Tonight It's You for you. Ralph, what do you got, bro?
Well, I'm gonna agree and disagree with Eddie there. I agree it is the best song off the album, but I do not agree that it's a good song.
Well, you're gonna be tough on this album.
Oh, yeah, I am. It's not a bad song. I gotta say, it's not a bad song. There is, I mean, it's flowing okay, but then it changes into like, come into my world, walk away with me. I was like, what's this doing in this song? You just fucked up the flow for me. And then I'll disagree again with Eddie by saying Rearview Mirror, I can't defend this fucking song.
Oh, you don't like that one?
I love the Doctor, but I cannot defend Rearview Mirror. I think that's putrid. And now I'm going to agree with Eddie again. I'm going to pick Tonight It's You over Rearview Mirror.
All right, man. Andy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rearview Mirror Romance.
Wow.
Once again, the title is just so Cheap Trickish. You know, it just is. And I know the music is completely different, but I like that song. I think Tonight It's You, it was a little blah for me. You know, it I love the song "The Flame," and that's what it kind of reminded me of, because I'd never heard these two albums until Al had told me that we're going to do this. So I spent all week listening to these over and over and over. So Tonight It's You didn't grab me as much as I read about it and I found out that it was the hit. It made it on the Billboard's top 40. I think it was like 40 something. And it was their big hit for a while until The Flame came around. So, but I still went with Rear View Mirror Romance.
Oh, well, okay. So for me, it's Tonight It's You. I agree with Eddie here. I think it's like one of their best singles, in my opinion. I always loved the song, man, ever since I first heard it back when it was new. And I love Robin's vocals on it, man. I just, again, Eddie nailed it. Was saying like he's got this soaring quality to it. He could sing the phone book, man. I love it. That's I put him on a Mount Rushmore. If I had to pick 4 singers, he's definitely one of the vocalists on there. So he's one of my favorites of all time. There's a certain someone that disagrees with that out there, which I think is so stupid, but I'm not going to bring that up again. Because somebody thinks that Xander sucks. Yeah.
Oh, you're triggering me.
No,
there's somebody out there that thinks that Xander sucks. So.
I always thought that was odd. This person whose name we cannot speak of, because he loved the Beatles and he loved Oasis and he loved like British, but yeah, he doesn't love the American band that is most influenced by British rock and roll in the Beatles. Like Cheap Trick is easily no big American band is more influenced by like the Beatles and the Kinks and all this shit this person we can't speak of loves. And then he shits on this band. It's just like, dude, I don't know. People like what they like.
He shits on the band because I said I like Cheap Trick more than Oasis. And he knows I'm a huge Oasis fan. It pisses him off that I said that. And he's been on this Cheap Trick hard on because I think they're better than Oasis. If he thinks Oasis is better than Cheap Trick, fine. I don't care. But he cares so much that he's on this. How the fuck, man? It makes as much sense saying that Robin Zander sucks. That he makes that much sense that Bushy would say that OUA took 1-2 is better than Fair Warning. It's the same shit.
Yeah, but no, it makes less sense because Bushy likes a lot of shitty music. Whereas this person actually does like some good shit. So that's the thing that doesn't compute. Although I think you hit it. It's more about you.
It's about me. It's weird. It's a dude that's all obsessed with me that's kind of cringy,
I shouldn't have brought it up, but anyway.
Yeah, I know all about it because I keep hearing reports of him writing, I lost a lot of people from being a drunk. I'm so sorry. Then the next week, I don't care what anybody thinks. I want to be me. Hey, if you want to be a douchebag, go right ahead. I don't have to be involved. Continue to be the douchey alcoholic you are. I have you blocked and I don't worry about your ass anymore. And Cheap Trick is 100 times better than Oasis. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, I'm picking Tonight It's You. Rearview Mirror Romance. It's got a cool. I like Rick's solo in it. It's got a cool like Chuck Berry almost style solo to it. But Tonight It's You, I love that over that song. So for me, it's Tonight It's You. So that's my pick. So we're gonna go to track number 3. She's Got Motion off of Standing on the Edge versus The Doctor. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, I think Ralph and I are definitely going to be on the same page with this one. She's Got Motion could be. It's one of the worst Cheap Trick songs ever. This makes Little Sister seem like something from the first fucking Cheap Trick album. It is fucking horrible. It's dog shit. Horrible production. It's like even Xander is like sounds a little lost on it. Like he can't make this shitty song into anything. It's just so generic and it's horrible. It's like maybe Dancing the Night Away, which I really hate too, which was a song that the label forced them to do on Next Position Please, which was a really good album, but the label came and fucked it up and took off some really great songs and made them record this really shitty song, Dancing.
No, and not only that, not only made them record that shitty song, made them release it as the first single from the
Yes, it was like, it was horrible. It's like, and I think that was a big reason. There were some other reasons, but that really hurt them in the mid 80s by listening to the fucking, studio. God, they fucking took like Twisted Heart off that album and put fucking Dancing the Night Away. It was just like, and that's a really good album, but that song, it's not the version I have like the original. Years later, they released like the original Cheap Trick version. That's the version I had. They had Dancing the Night Away as a bonus track. Threw it in the fucking trash because that's where that song belongs.
Really?
Yeah, I hate Dancing the Night Away. I will delete a bonus track. I do three things. I either keep it on the album if I think it kind of flows with the album, or I create like my own like album of EPs with bonus tracks. Pretty OCD. I like to listen to an album as it was kind of originally imagined. So a lot of times I collect the bonus tracks and put them somewhere else. If a song is really shitty and it's a bonus track, yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it coming up on a shuffle or anything. So I just throw it in the trash. So and I always hated that song. But this song gives it a run for the money. She's Got Emotions, pretty shitty. It's horrible. I hate it. And what's it going up against? Oh, the Doctor. Oh, yeah, Doctor's a cool song. I like the Doctor. Yeah, it's a cool song. It's weird. It's really weird. But it's weird, experimental. It's like this is my general. Like, it's obvious. I think it's kind of obvious at this point that me and Ralph prefer the Doctor. We're only like 3 songs in, but yeah, I like the Doctor. Like Ralph, it's a grower. Like, it's an album. The first time I listened to the Doctor, it was like, what the fuck? Like, this is not the Cheap Trick I want. But in Standing on the Edge, I kind of was like, okay, this is kind of all right. But both these albums, like, my opinion, the more I listened to them over the years, like Standing on the Edge, like, dropped, and the Doctor kept rising and rising. And I think it's like in Breaking Bad, like Heisenberg, I think said it, like, never do a half measure. It's like Standing on the Edge is a big fucking half measure. It's like, it's kind of synth poppy, it's kind of rock and roll. It's like, it's not really committing to anything. Whereas the Doctor, I'll say this, it commits in being a quirky, weird, new wavy kind of synth pop rock album. And it goes all the way with it. And it creates a very unique Cheap Trick album, like not like anything they've ever recorded. I wouldn't say it's one of their best albums. It's like a mid-tier Cheap Trick album for me, but it's a solid mid-tier album, and it's one that's grown on me over the years. So yeah, overall, I definitely prefer the Doctor. And this song, the title track's a great example. Why? It's weird. The thing about Standing on the Edge, it's so normcore. It's like Cheap Trick trying to be normal. Like a little, that's also an issue I kind of have with, Lap of Luxury and Busted. Like, I don't want to hear Cheap Trick be normal. I like when they're quirky and kind of weird, and dark. And the Doctor is like that in spades. It's a weird, quirky album, both lyrically, musically. And the Doctor is like, yeah, like that's what I would want to hear from a weird, synthy Cheap Trick song in the mid 80s. So yeah, there's like no contest here, because the Doctor, I think, is a great song, and She's Got Emotion is one of the worst songs they ever fucking recorded. It's dog shit. So definitely the Doctor wins this one for me.
All right, man. Ralph.
Dude, She's Got Emotion is the best song on the album, bro. Dude, it sounds like
Eyeball.
Yeah, exactly. Eyeball. Dude, it sounds like fucking like a real bad version of a Miami Vice song.
Yeah, a bad version of a Miami Vice.
Real bad, like that, like that. And I love Jan Hammer, don't get me wrong. Jan Hammer and Neil Sean made some awesome albums. But he's the guy responsible for that Miami Vice shit. And it's very dated sounding. Yeah, horrendous. Where the Doctor is fucking awesome. It's demented Rick Nielsen. Now, Rick Nielsen was a little demented with I Want Be Man and shit like that, which I couldn't really get into, but like shit from All Shook Up with High Priest of Rhythmic Noise, that quirky craziness, that demented musical is all over the Doctor. This song has that demented Rick Nielsen shit I love. And of course, it incorporates new sounds and keyboards, but it's also sporadic.
Yeah.
And heavy, and I love it, man. Yeah, it's an easy win for the Doctor.
All right, man. That's 2 for the Doctor.
Yep.
Andy. And, it's appropriate. Dr. Fuckalicious, the Doctor,
Yeah.
Andy, what do you got, brother?
Well, I am going with the title track of the Doctor. I think She's Got Motion is a terrible, terrible song. It reminds me so much of, I don't know why, just reminds me of a very bad Billy Squier song, because I'm pretty sure that song that Billy Squier did was a lot better. But this is just bad. It was bad. When the Doctor was a very, very good song. It was quirky. It was weird. Just like the way that Eddie and Ralph were saying. It's a very weird album. But so far, I've chosen the Doctor all 3 times. So
I'm going with the same thing, man. The Doctor title track. The thing I got from She's Got Motion, like in the beginning, like Ralph was saying, sounds kind of like that Miami Vice. It sounds like, for me, it almost kind of sounded like the pulsating synth of, like, the way ZZ Top's Leg starts out, or like something. It would have fit like on Eliminator or Afterburner or something like that ZZ Top did in the mid '80s, kind of like with the pulsating synths and shit like that. The way it started off, that's like the kind of the vibe that I got from it. The Doctor, I remember. See, I didn't have the Doctor for like the longest time, and I have it on CD, but my CDs are packed away. I don't have it on vinyl. I only have Standing on the Edge on vinyl out of these 2. But I remember the Doctor. I remember I got the Sex America Cheap Trick box set, and they had like an instrumental version called Funk Number 9 on there. It's got Robin kind of scatting on it, but it's not finished. It's just kind of instrumental with Robin kind of scatting over it, And I like that song from the box set. And I remember when I finally got around to getting the Doctor in like the late 90s or something like that. When that song came on, I was like, yeah, no, I like this song. So yeah, the Doctor, for me, that's my pick out of the 2. So
that's the first clean sweep so far.
Doctor's gonna win. I'm calling it.
That's the first
all right, man. The 4th track is Love Comes from Standing on the Edge versus Are You Lonely Tonight off of the Doctor. Go ahead, Eddie.
Oh. Okay. Okay. What's the name of that?
Love Comes.
Okay. Love Comes. I know what the ballad. I know what the song sounds like. Yeah. It's a pretty little ballad.
Ballad, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty ballad. Robin Zander can sing a fucking ballad. He's like Elvis that way. Like, he could sing a fucking ballad. And the other one, the Love Me Tonight.
Are You Lonely Tonight?
Are You Lonely Tonight? Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, I know. And I know Ralph and I think the same thing about this song. Okay, this song, I mean, I don't know if I know there's something about this song we both hate. Okay, this song is actually not a bad song, like composition-wise. It sounds like a decent kind of power pop song. Not like spectacular, but it's not horrible. But it has the most annoying keyboard fucking sound ever. Like, really, ever. I can't think of a more annoying. It goes do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. And it happens throughout the whole fucking song. Like I'm listening to this. It's like, why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep going? And they think it's like a hook.
And
it comes on cue. That's not a hook. That's like a fucking ringtone, like notification. Like, just fucking back off with that fucking sound, because it sounds kind of like a decent power pop song, but with with synthesizers. But if you listen to it, it's cheap. It's not. It's kind of like Cheap Trick by numbers, but it's all right. It's not a horrible song, but that fucking sound, I can't say. And that's like, some of these synths sound cool and experimental, like Ralph said, like not the stereotypical synth sound.
80s. Yeah.
But this sound sounds like the worst elements of the 80s crammed in your face for 3 minutes. And it ruins this otherwise kind of decent song that might have won, actually. Otherwise, but I will give it to the ballad because it's a pretty enough song, and Robin sounds nice on it, and it doesn't go do, 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 do. So give it to that Give it to that song. the ballad of the whatever the fuck it's called.
Love Comes.
Love Comes. Love Comes. Love Comes is better than.
All right, Ralph. What do you got, dude?
It should call Love Come Elephant Come because it sucks. Elephant Come sucks. It's horrible. It's a horrible ballad, and I love The Flame. I love that fucking song. I hate this damn tune. Now, as far as
Are You Lonely Tonight?
Are You Lonely? Yes. It doesn't fucking stop. It's fucking horrible. But the song is great. It's a great tune with an annoying keyboard going through it. I give it to that annoying keyboard song.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Now I will say this: I just took if that sound wasn't there,
Yeah,
I would give it to that song. But it is there.
Awesome. Without that sound, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, without that sound, it would win. But that sound is throughout the whole. I would even let it slide if it was just like at the beginning and end.
Yeah, like once a verse, okay, but goddamn,
but it's throughout, so it ruins for me. So whereas the other one can kind of just fade in the background a bit. So
it sounds like a fucking Sammy Hagar song, man.
All right, man. So, Ralph, you picking Are You Lonely tonight, right?
Yeah.
All right, Andy, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I am going with Love Comes. I think that's a really good song. I really like it, and that's the first time picking something off of Standing on the Edge. I liked it. I thought it was a really cool song, so that's what I'm going with. Standing on the Edge for me.
I'm also going with Elephant Come. I'm going with Love Comes. I like a ballad that Robin sings. Again, like Are You Lonely Tonight is a good song, but that keyboard part, it kills it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'd love to hear a version of that song, like, where they kind of stripped that away from it.
Yeah. Just take it out.
Yeah, just take it out, man. But I'll give the edge to Love Comes. So I like a good ballad too. So that's my pick. So going to track 5 from Standing on the Edge. How About You versus Name of the Game off the Doctor. Eddie.
I get these songs are both kind of mid-tier songs for me. I'm gonna. They're not bad. The other one, the what's the one from Standing on the Edge? What's the name of that one?
How About You?
How about you? How about you? I really hate the production, but there's kind of a good British rock style song there. It sounds a little Kinks-ish. It's not a bad song, but I think I'll go with the other one though.
Name of the Game.
Yeah, Name of the Games. I really love how he sings. That's when he goes like over and over. I love that refrain, and I love how Robin sings that. And to me, that will give it a slight edge over the other one. But they're not bad. They're both kind of decent songs. But I definitely would give the Name of the Game the edge overall. Like most of the Doctor songs. So yeah, I'll give it to that one.
Yeah. All right. Ralph.
How about you? How about Fuck You? That song is terrible. You know what it reminds me of? Like the Pointer Sisters song in Beverly Hills Cop.
The Neutron Dance?
Oh, the Neutron Dance.
I like that song though.
You know when he's in the truck with the
the Neutron Dance. Yeah.
The Neutron
Dance. Sounds like that, but worse.
It's not as good as the Neutron Dance. That's better.
Yeah. Where the other song, it's good. I like it like I like Tonight It's You. I think it's a good song, not great, but it's a good song. It would probably beat. No, it wouldn't beat Tonight It's You, but it'd be close. Yeah, I give it to that song easily. The one off the Doctor.
Name of the Game. Okay.
Name of the Game.
All right, Andy, what do you got, bro?
I'm gonna go with How About You. Even though when I was hearing these songs, I was like, do I really have to pick one? Do I really have to pick one, or can I just skip it? But I did go with How About You over Name of the Game. I didn't like that song at all.
I'm going with Name of the Game. I like Robin's vocals on there. I think it's got a cool Rick solo on there. You know, I prefer it over How About You a bit more. You know, that's what I got. I'm going to the doctor's side on this one. So
yeah, join the doctor's side.
Yeah, name of the game for me on that one. So next one, we're going with the title track, Standing on the Edge, versus Kiss Me Red.
Whoa. Oh, this
Eddie,
is great. Ralph's going to have to go Standing on the Edge on this one. Okay, Standing on the Edge, I actually really like. I would say it's great, but it's for me, it's definitely the second best song on this album. Definitely the second best song on this album. It's a solid, catchy, Cheap Trick power pop song. It's rocking. The chorus, again, very Robin. Man, it's soaring. It's one of those soaring choruses. It sounds like it could be cool, would be like in a cool montage in an 80s movie, like during a moment when the underdogs are getting their shit together, you know, making their dreams come true. It has that vibe to it. The production's kind of dated, but there's a good song in there. And, when Robin starts screaming at the end, it's a good, catchy, Cheap Trick, kind of Cheap Trick by numbers, but hey, fuck it. I don't mind some Cheap Trick by numbers. It's a good, catchy song. Definitely my second favorite song on this album. And I See Red, I do not care for. And this was a song, kind of like that Dancing the Night Away song, End the Flame, where it was something where the label came in and gave them a song that's not a Cheap Trick song. It's them like essentially covering a song that the label gives to them and tells them this is a song you got to play. And I guess they thought it was going to be some kind of crossover hit or something. And the song sucks. It's not. It's it's not Cheap Trick. It just doesn't sound like a Cheap Trick song. It's not. And Robin kind of makes it bearable because his vocals are really good. Whereas The Flame is the only time where I don't love The Flame, but I do like it. I think it's a solid ballad, not because the song's anything special, but like I said earlier, Xander can sing the fuck out of a ballad, and he does sing the fuck out of The Flame. Like he's singing it like, yeah, I'm gonna make this song a fucking hit.
With so much emotion.
Like there's so much emotion that he sells that song, but he can't sell this song. I See Red, there's nothing there. It's like a great actor that's given like a dog shit script, and he's trying, but it's just not there. There's nothing there for him to work with. It's just a shitty, generic mid-'80s pop dance song, and he can't do anything to make it work. But he's trying, but he just can't do it. And it's the worst song on the album, in my opinion. And so this one definitely Standing on the Edge. To me, no contest. Definitely better than I See Red.
Or Kiss Me Red.
Oh, Kiss Me Red, that's a shitty Warrant song. Anyway, sorry, I confused my shitty Warrant song with a shitty Cheap Trick song.
That's all right.
All right, Ralph, man, what do you got, bro?
I don't like Standing on the Edge. I think this song was written by Sammy Hagar. He just didn't take credit for it because even he thought it sucked.
He wrote it as Over the Edge.
Yeah. It was supposed to be in that arm wrestling movie.
Yeah.
But now Kiss Me Red, this is a funny thing though. Kiss Me Red is the only song on this album with outside writers. And the band fucking hated it so much that when they do interviews, they usually lie in interviews. And they were doing an interview, all original 4 members, right? And they asked them, what's your favorite Cheap Trick song? And Bunny Carlo said, Kiss Me Red. That being said, my pick is Kiss Me Red.
Really? You love Kiss Me Red? Oh,
I actually like the damn song.
You like Kiss Me Red? Oh.
It does not sound like everything you said about it is true.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm a big fan of scripts that are dog shit. Well, that's why I picked Kiss Me Red. I actually like the song. I'm not lying.
That was Standing on the Edge's best chance.
I did a review of this album where I bash it. I bashed Kiss Me Red on my review, but I've grown to like it.
All right. The Doctor's a Doctor fan, bro.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time.
You know I'm a Doctor fan when I like that shitty ass Kiss Me Red.
Oh yeah, this was the best bet. This was the best bet for Standing on the Edge. It failed
It
miserably.
failed. It went over the edge.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, man, what do you got, bro?
Yeah, I love that. I love the "Standing on the Edge" title track. That was a song that stood out to me when I heard this album, and then I heard the Doctor battle. I was telling myself in this vinyl battle, I don't care what's going to go up against standing on the edge. Standing on the Edge is going to win anyway because I really like that track. So Standing on the Edge for me.
Yeah, I'm going with Standing on the Edge as well. It rocks a bit more. I don't know why. When I was listening to it again, I don't know why. I got a vibe of like the song Voices for some reason. I got some sort of like the way Robin was singing it, or there must have been a little hook in the song or something that kind of reminded me of Voices a little bit. I don't know why. Voices is a bit more ballady, but I don't know. I just got like kind of that vibe, and I love Voices. That's one of my favorite Cheap Trick ballads, like so. Kiss Me Red is just the synths are just too dated. They sound dated on that song for me. I think it just it got that 80s dated synth sound. So I didn't like it at all. So maybe if I lived with it longer, I know, man. The Doctor, I don't never pull out that album, man.
It's I think with the Doctor, like I have a similar trajectory as Ralph, so it's possible I might like the shitty "I See Red" song in a few years. I Kissed Red, or She Kissed Me Red, or whatever.
Kiss Me Red, yeah.
It's possible I might feel differently in a few years. Maybe I'll get there. I'm not quite there yet.
You're a closet Warren fan. I understand.
Oh God.
Anyway, what I meant to do before we started this vinyl battle, so we're going to take a little bit of a break from the track thing here. I want to ask, when was like the first time you heard Cheap Trick and the first time you saw them live? Just go around the room real quick, Eddie.
I only saw them live for the first time in Florida last year with Charlie Hill, and it was amazing and it was great. And,
where they play at?
Well, because I was like kind of in Pennsylvania and California, they don't play there quite as much. Like Florida, apparently, because Robin lives down here in Florida, so they play in Florida a lot, apparently. So like if I was living in Florida before, I'm sure I would have saw them earlier. But and plus I only got into Cheap Trick because of Ralph's podcast. I've talked about this before. The Rock and Metal podcast, Combat podcast. Ralph and Ian always talked up Cheap Trick. I kind of always slept on Cheap Trick. I knew the hits, but they were like one of those bands that I kind of wrote them off as kind of a fluffy pop rock act, partially because of the hits. And it was their podcast and Ralph and Ian being so passionate about this band that I decided to deep dive and actually listen to the albums. So now they're one of my favorite bands, and I do have a Cheap Trick Rankorama video, which is one of my more popular videos that I did a few years back. So, now I own all their albums and I'm fairly well versed in them. But yeah, I only really got into them a couple of years ago. I knew them like when I was in junior high getting into music. I knew like The Flame and like Don't Be Cruel, the Elvis cover that got a lot of play on MTV. But I thought The Flame was like kind of a pussy girl song, and the Don't Be Cruel. I was like, this was a time where I was like getting into Metallica and shit. So I was like, yeah. It's like Cheap Trick was like not to me. It was like Bryan Adams shit. Like that's what I kind of thought of it as. Like this is pussy rock. Like it wasn't for me. And like maybe like I'd be at bars and stuff and would hear like I Want You to Want Me and a few of the hits, but nothing that made me think that they were like really worth my time. I did have a buddy that was a bassist and that used to talk up Cheap Trick, but I just thought he had bad taste. I didn't know, but because of Ralph's podcast, and then Ralph also on Almost Human, he was doing a whole series of Cheap Trick reviews when I was like getting into them, when I was diving into discography. So his reviews were very helpful. And that's when I became a fan. And it was diving into the album, especially the first album. I mean, that's my favorite album. I know it's also Ralph's. And that, I mean, I love all their 70s albums, but that first album's that's what made me a really hardcore fan. Like, that's one of my favorite albums of all time now. And I also love Dream Police. That's a close second. But I mean, now I don't think they have really any bad albums. Standing on the Edge is like borderline bad. So, but I would say maybe it's their second worst album. I would say Bust It, only because there's nothing really bad on Bust It, but it's just so consistently mediocre. Like, there's just nothing it's just never an album I go back to. So I would say Bust It's my least favorite. But this is second favorite. But over the year, the thing about the discography is you just keep going back and you can get into different periods, and there's just great band. They're like definitely a top 20 band for me now. Now I love them. But I'm late to the game. So that's why I only saw them for the first time like last year with Charlie Hill, who is like the biggest Cheap Trick fan in the world. Although, like me, he's a little late to the game too.
Yeah, but Charlie Hill got turned on by Cheap Trick from our podcast as well. I turned Charlie Hill into a fucking monster. You know,
okay, he's a bigger fan than me even.
Dude, Charlie Hill went to Canada. He saw them in Canada. Him and Danielle go together. They went to Niagara Falls. They see Cheap Trick all around the fucking United States.
Yeah, he
They're
followed.
mega fans, and he discovered Cheap Trick through the podcast.
Michael Lynch, you just weighed in right now. He likewise got into Cheap Trick because of your show, Ralph.
Right on, Michael. Killer. Oh, cool. People are watching us.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to
Live.
Metal Ben, Michael Lynch. They're watching.
Jimmy Schwartz.
Yeah, I love that dude.
Yeah, and we all got into fucking Cheap Trick. I would say the trifecta for me is Thin Lizzy, Blue Oyster Cult, and Cheap Trick are three classic bands from the 70s that I got into because of Ralph and Ian's show.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's what these shows are all about. All these podcasts that we do, we share the music that we love, and hopefully others will catch on as well. We see that a lot of people have caught on to Cheap Trick because of Ralph and Ian. So that's awesome.
Metal band, listen to their first album.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, Metal Band rules, man. Everybody should subscribe to Metal Band.
Yeah.
The first album, Metal Band, that's the heavy one, the dark one.
Yep.
I mean, some dark subject matters. Daddy should have stayed in high school. He's a whore. Awesome stuff.
TV violence.
Yeah, that's definitely their heaviest and darkest album. The first.
Oh God, yes, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Rick Nielsen's lyrics are demented on there, man.
That's him at his most demented.
Yeah, and just the sound of it. The sound of that album is so it's like proto grunge. It's very sludgy and dark. Yeah, sound like
it's
great.
And dark, man.
Big influence on Nirvana. It's a very head of its time album in 1970.
It went over everybody's head when it was.
Oh yeah, it was. It was like an album of the future when it was released. You know, they wouldn't have got it back then.
I don't think people even get it now. I still think it's ahead of its time.
It is. If that album was released now, it would sound edgy. It'd sound different, and it's amazing. It's one of the greatest rock and roll records ever.
Yeah, album should be like a diamond selling album, but people suck.
Yeah.
When did you first get into them, and when did you first see them, Ralph?
Well, the way I got into Cheap Trick is a fluke, a complete and utter fluke. They were not famous yet. This was back in '78, before Budokan, where a friend of mine made me join Columbia House. Because if he made me join Columbia House, he'd get a record or two for free, right? So I'm picking shit. I remember I picked some Kiss stuff. And then I wasn't that much into music. I couldn't think of nothing else. And he just wrote in Cheap Trick for me. He didn't know shit about them, right? And it was a cassette. This is what I got, a bunch of cassettes. So I got In Color. That's the one he ordered me. And the cover of that album looks like this shit's gonna be like the Beach Boys. You know, I'm not gonna listen to this shit. You know, I was like, I didn't listen to it. What I was gonna do was record over it on the King Biscuit Flower Hour. Some, you know, back then they used to play concerts on.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So my friend Yai, who I'm still friends with, and he's on my Facebook, was with me that day, and we're little kids, man. I'm like, hey, man, I'm gonna tape it with Cheap Trick, and Yai goes, hey, just play it. Let's see what it sounds like. All right, dude. When that riff of "Hello There" came out, we both became instant fans, and we just couldn't stop listening to this cassette, and we became fanatical. And this was before Budokan. I think Heaven Tonight was already out by this time when I got into color. Well, anyway, then Budokan came out and they became huge, and they did an At Budokan tour. And I went to the tour. It was May 18th, 1979. Me and my dad went, and the opening band was called the Rockets, and they were really awesome. And there were guys next to us smoking weed. And my dad lit up a cigar and blew smoke in their face. That was the funny part of the show. But yeah, that was my very first concert ever, was Cheap Trick and the Rockets.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, that's the fluky way I got into Cheap Trick, and then I was really into them. I got actually the first album and Heaven Tonight before I saw that show. I had their whole discography at that time. By the time I saw the show, and it was fucking phenomenal. It was Tom Peterson did "I Know What I Want," where Dream Police wasn't out yet. They did.
Did they do "Need Your Love"?
They did "Need Your Love." Yeah, they did "Need Your Love." They did "Stiff Competition."
Wow.
They did "Taxman." He's
wow. That's a great set list.
Oh yeah, they did "Can't Hold On," and I didn't know that song yet. That's one of maybe my top 5 Cheap Trick songs ever is "Can't Hold On."
That's on Found All the Parts, right? Is that on there?
It's on there, yeah, and it's also on the Complete Budokan.
Yeah, the complete. Yeah.
But yeah, it first came out on Found All the Parts.
Yeah, which I love that. I love that EP.
Dude,
Yeah.
that EP is perfection. Every single song. Their version of Day Trippers Godly.
Oh God, I love that.
Can't Hold On. You're Such a Good Girl is the perfect power pop song. And to me, their greatest ballad ever was Take Me I'm Yours.
Yeah, I agree. I
Amazing.
love it. Well, I don't think it's not my personal favorite, but it's up there. It's one of their best ballads. I love that
I
song.
love that fucking ballad, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I discovered Cheap Trick, and my very first show was a Cheap Trick show. And mind you, that was 1979. Till today, I lost count, but I have seen Cheap Trick over 100 times.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember you
They
saying that.
love Florida. They come down here constantly.
Yeah.
There was only 2 times I missed Cheap Trick. Once they were opening for Poison. I was like, I can't go to that. and the second time, I got kidney stones. And at that show, which my friend Yai discovered, he went to the show. He told me that night they played Daddy Should Have Stayed in High School.
Oh, they don't play that
I've
much.
never seen them play that fucking song. Because Cheap Trick, that's another thing about them. You go see them, it's always a different set list. They always show you shit
That's what I
around.
love about them, man.
They always throw out that real rare gem each show, and that was it. Daddy Should Have Stayed. I was like, no. You know, that's probably my only chance I ever would have got to see them do that, you know, but such is life. But yeah, I've seen them many, many times. And the great Charlie Hill got me a cameo with Rick Nielsen.
Oh,
Rick
cool.
Nielsen said, I heard you've seen us over 100 times. And my dad's name is Ralph. And then he tried to say Schmack McGob and failed miserably. Yeah.
Andy, how about you, man?
Yeah, I've never seen them live. That is one band that I've never seen, and I would love to. I got into them just probably about a few years ago. Of course, I was very familiar with The Flame. I always liked that song when it first came out, and the "Don't Be Cruel" video I thought was awesome because of the girl singing background. And then, of course, I always heard on the radio, "I Want You to Want Me" off of Budokan. But it wasn't until I was at Walmart, probably less than 10 years ago, and they used to have this bin. It was like $5 CDs, and I would go over there and just go through them. Well, I found Cheap Trick's debut CD in there. I said, you know what? Might as well grab it. I like a couple of their songs. And from there on, I just started buying as much Cheap Trick as I can possibly get. I love that first album. And now I've got like In Color and Dream Police on vinyl, and Next Position Please, and that EP, and just as much as I can get. And so that's when I just became a true fan, was after I heard that debut album. Just out of the blue, I just said, I'll just buy this since I'm not finding anything else. And in fact, I was listening to it in my car on the way home from work and to get ready for the show. So yeah, that's my little short and sweet, but it's a band that I've been getting into ever since.
Nice.
Yeah, I got into them. I was a little late. I was a little too young to remember their 70s heyday, but it wasn't until going into the 80s when MTV was starting to show videos, and I saw some of the early videos. Well, like new at the time, maybe She's Tight, I Can't Take It. They were playing those videos. That's when I really started getting into them. Seeing the videos, and I always remembered I Want You to Want Me and Surrender on the radio. That always constantly got played. And then after seeing the videos and stuff, that's when I started. I got Budokan. I got then I got the first four. I got the first album. In Color, Heaven and Night, Dream Police, things like that. I went back and started getting all that stuff. And the first album is my favorite as well. That's hands down. I love the dark nature of that album, man. Cheap Trick has this knack of just the real dark lyrics, but kind of dressed up with pop hooks, man. It just kind of but that first album, man, is still even the music itself, it has a dark quality to it too, as well. The riffs and all that shit that Rick was coming up with was pretty crazy. As far as seeing them live, I didn't see them live at all in the 80s. It wasn't until because I had a friend who was I actually met him when he married my best friend's sister. So then we became real good friends. We actually he's a drummer, so we had bands together and stuff like that. But he was a Cheap Trick fanatic. And it wasn't until 91 when they came out with their first Greatest Hits album, the one that had Magical Mystery Tour on there and stuff. They played Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. And that was the first time I went to go see them. We went, it was kind of a rainy day too, so it wasn't a whole lot of people in there because it's an outdoor show. And I remember Rick flung out a pick, man. I caught it. I still have it to this day. I have tons of Rick picks now, but that was the first time I ever caught a pick from anybody. I was like, wow, this is cool, man, But then I never knew that Nick had that knack of fucking throwing out handfuls of picks all the time, But he was flinging them all day, It was during the day the concert, so it was still light out and going into kind of the night. But I remember it was kind of rainy, but they were awesome, man. I was like, holy shit. And then from then on, anytime they came around, besides Rush, I think Cheap Trick is the band I've seen the most live. I think I've seen them probably over 50 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would see them every time they came to New Jersey. The ones that I love, man, was when they were doing in the mid 90s, they were doing album nights. They were doing the first album, In Color, and Heaven and Night, and Budokan. They were doing every night they would do that each album in full. So they were playing a club in New Jersey called the Birch Hill, which was the premier club back in the day in the 90s, 80s, 90s. And they played there 4 nights, man. I remember I went to all 4 nights. I went to the first album night, the In Color night. So they played all those albums in full, each night. And then, they would play the album, and then the encore, they'd throw in some songs from the other albums to kind of finish out the set. And then In Color they do the same thing like that. And then I remember the Budokan night. They threw out the Kiss Alive album with the pics. They used to throw out, I don't know if it was an album flat or an actual album cover, but it had pics like around the edge of it. They would throw that out in the crowd. And I remember, man, dude, it just flew right over my hand, man. I almost had it. I was like, shit, man, that would have been great, man, to have that. But
it's so awesome that you were at those shows, though. That's
so I got to see like the full complete album. So I got to hear like the songs that not a lot of people heard. So I mean, those were like the awesome shows, man. And then another great one too. And this is one of my favorite albums by him was the self-titled one from '97. I love that album.
That's great.
To me, after the first four, like that's probably my fifth favorite album by them. I just love that album so much.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it.
Although I do love the one by George Martin too. Why am I spacing on the name of that right now? The 1980 album.
All Shook Up.
All Shook Up. Yes, I love that album too. So like sometimes like it's either that one or the '97 one.
I really love Woke Up with a Monster.
I do love that one too.
I really like that one a lot. But I'd say '97 is my favorite after the first one.
Oh God, yes, man.
Ralph, don't you think that? I know you regard it very
highly. I like All Shook Up more, but after All Shook Up, that's the best album, '97, I think. And I really like Woke Up with a Monster. I thought that was a comeback, but then when I heard '97, I was like, shit, this is even better.
That was like a real comeback for me.
Yeah, but Woke Up with a Monster was a big improvement of everything they did after All Shook Up, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was a great album. And
I know Ted Templeman produced that one.
Yeah, and they were on Warner Brothers, and they changed the only album to have a different logo.
Yeah,
I don't like the logo, but
I don't like the cover either. I thought
I mean, it's got "Sexy Lady for Clown." That's kind of cool.
I don't know about sexy, but
it's curvy, kind of banged up whore. I like that. That's kind of my kind of woman.
It's like I think the joke on that is like, who's the monster on the cover? You know what I mean?
I like banged up, chunky old whore. That's me.
But that's my Cheap Trick. The last time I saw him was just only a few months ago. They came here to Tampa and they opened up for Heart. So, I like seeing him.
I'll tell you something about Woke Up with a Monster. You probably never noticed it, but there's a complete ripoff on that album. The song,
the Bad Boy Boogie one.
Yeah, Girlfriend.
It's a great song, but yeah, of course it's a great song because it's ripping off Bad Boy Boogie.
It's Bad Boy Boogie that even the vocal structure is like
it's totally the same melody and hook.
They carbon copied that song.
Yeah,
it's wild.
And they know because they were like touring a lot for AC/DC during that period. So
they even played together. Johnny Be Good, which they did a version of Johnny Be Good, and then they mentioned them doing that on the song Love Comes Tumbling Down.
Yeah, that's a homage to Bon Scott. So so they knew they were ripping. They had to know they were ripping off Bad Boy.
Oh man, it's so blatant.
So good song though. If you want to have a good song, rip off
Bad Boy Boogie.
Yeah. Jimmy James says Cheap Trick always comes around the Midwest, so obviously he caught them.
The thing is, if you want to rip off a song and make it real good, do AC/DC's Bad Boy Boogie, not Motley Crue's Bad Boy Boogie.
Oh no, horrible.
All right, man. Let's get back to the album battle. So we're on number 7 now.
Yeah.
So from Standing on the Edge, we got This Time Around versus from the Doctor, Take Me to the Top. Go ahead.
Right now, there's a tie. It's 3-3.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay. There's no fucking contest here. All right. Okay. This is the thing. I would not say that Doctor. I love the Doctor, and like Ralph said, like I've said, it's a grower. It's grown on me over the years. I love the album. Even though I love the album, I still say it's kind of a mid-tier Cheap Trick album. But I don't know. It's an album that could break my top 10 maybe one day. It's not quite there yet. I forget where I put it in my Rankorama, but it's close. It's maybe like my 12th favorite album. I forget where I put it, but I'm just saying the album's kind of mid-tier for me, but I do enjoy it and I listen to it periodically. I definitely listen to it more than Standing on the Edge. That being said, there is a song on this album. This song, Take Me to the Top, which is actually a top 5 Cheap Trick song for me. Like I love this song. It's one of my favorite Cheap Trick songs. Might be my this might be my favorite Cheap Trick ballad. You know, I kind of consider this song a ballad. I know Mick Watkins also is a big fan. I think it's actually his favorite Cheap Trick song. If might be wrong, but I seem to recall Mick saying that. But I know me and Mick have talked about our love for the song before. But yeah, I love Take Me to the Top. To me, this is the song. This should have been the single. This is like, I'm not saying it never was going to be as big as The Flame, but it was the best bet on this album. It was the best bet, you know, and it wasn't one of the 2 singles. So that shitty I Kiss Red or whatever the fuck that song was.
Yeah.
Kiss Me Red.
that was one of the singles. The other song we didn't get to yet.
Did they make a video for Kiss Me Red?
Yeah, well, they have 2 videos, 2 singles, and to me, Take Me to the Top, like that's the song. It's so fucking perfect and beautiful, and it's simple. It's just a simple, like this could be on any Cheap Trick album. This is the one song that, you know, it's just the production, the sound of it, the music. It's so stark. It's just a stark, simple ballad, but which really allows Xander a lot of room to sing. And just fucking sing his heart out. Like this could be on any Cheap Trick album from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and onward. And it would be a standout on any Cheap Trick album, in my opinion. To me, this is the song. I love the song. This is a song, like I don't always listen to the Doctor, but I will sometimes go and just listen to Take Me to the Top. If I make a Cheap Trick like playlist for a lady, I'm like trying to get into Cheap Trick. It's like I will always put Take Me to the Top on it. It's one of my all-time favorite Cheap Trick songs. It's amazing. So yeah, there's not one song on Standing on the Edge that could even compete with this song. There's like nothing even close. Even Tonight It's You, which I think is great, doesn't come close to this song. Take Me to the Top is amazing. I love it. Easy win for me.
All right, man. Ralph, what do you got, brother?
What song is it again?
This Time Around versus Take Me to the Top.
Yeah, This Time Around sucks. Good vocals though. I do like her singing on it. And yeah, Take Me to the Top's the best song on this album, man.
Right on.
I remember, you know, back when I bought the Doctor, I played it. I didn't like it, and I heard it all. And then when I got the Sex America Cheap Trick, it had this song on it. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. This was off the Doctor? This is a damn good song, man. And I remember back then I gave Doctors a couple more chances. It still wasn't sticking with me back then. But ever since I got that box set, because I didn't catch it the first time I heard it. But when I got that box set, I fell in love with the song. One of the best Cheap Trick ballads. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And like Eddie said, it can fit on any album, you know? And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Tom Warman. Tom Warman and Jack Douglas and George Martin, the 3 greatest Cheap Trick producers, in my opinion. Especially Tom Warman. What he did with the strings on Dream Police and Heaven Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Guy's a genius. And you know who thinks he sucks?
Funny.
Fucking my good buddy, Martin Popoff.
Oh.
No.
No,
And,
really?
and you know another thing Martin Popoff said? This one goes out to Eddie Canistracci. Because Eddie Canistracci said this once, and I thought to myself, damn, he makes a lot of sense. Eddie Canistracci one time said, Jimmy Page is one of the greatest producers of all time. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you know that the sound on Physical Graffiti and House of the Holy is so perfect.
Nobody gives a
Martin Popoff thinks he sucks too.
He's got maybe a hearing issue.
I blame Canada.
No,
Maybe
but
that'd be
some
a
of the
Canadian
best
thing.
sound-
Yeah.
But those Led Zeppelin albums are some of the best sounding albums
they're sonically perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, all of them. I'm especially peaking by Houses of Holy and Physical Graffiti, but
He doesn't get the credit. He doesn't get the credit, man. Like for producing, I think as he should.
yeah, I think if I had
Everybody always talks about how great the Zeppelin albums sound, but nobody ever says, "Well, Jimmy Page."
they don't think they don't realize that he's the producer. And
Yeah.
he had talented engineers, Eddie Kramer and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know, but Martin Birch, like there were talented engineers working with him. But Jimmy Page, he's the factor that stays with all the Led Zeppelin albums because the engineers change, but Jimmy Page is always the producer.
Yeah.
He's always the guy, the mastermind. It's because he took all that experience by being, from being a session player for so many years in the '60s that he knew a studio. And man's a fucking genius. Like, not only a guitar playing genius, but a sonic genius. And he made a deal with the devil. So that also helped him. Black Magic helped too, I think. But yeah, the greatest producer of all time, in my opinion, my favorite producer is Jimmy. He's also my favorite guitarist and my favorite rock star, period. So he checks the boxes for a lot of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, I don't get, like, I can get if maybe you don't like Led Zeppelin. Like I've heard some people say, hey, they don't like Robert Plant singing. Like I can see that being like a taste thing. Like maybe it's not for you, but I can't see, and Michael Lynch, he weighs in, he knows his shit. I objectively, I can't see how you can say those Led Zeppelin albums don't sound great. Like from just a technical standpoint, how could you say Physical Graffiti is not like sonically one of the greatest sounding albums of all time? How could just Kashmir by itself? Like, how could you not say that that's not like sonically one of the most powerful sounding rock songs ever? I don't, just to me, there's some things some shit's subjective, but to me, that's science. Maybe they must deny science in Canada. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So Ralph, you went with Take Me to the Top, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me just say something real quick. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've recently become woke. I'm woke now.
Wow, interesting.
And I got to say, Michael Lynch, your last name offends me.
Gotta change your last name, Michael.
Oh man, Andy, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go with This Time Around.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm going to go with This Time Around.
I think Andy just went woke.
Andy's just being true to himself. You want to move to Canada, Andy? I thought you lived in Texas. What the hell kind of opinion is this?
Are you in Canada like Martin Papa?
No. I'm closer to Mexico. But, I am going with This Time Around. Also, Standing on the Edge.
All right, I'm going with Take Me to the Top. I love that's the only, I think I've only picked like 3 songs off the Doctor so far. That's the third one there. But that's a great one. That's probably my favorite one on the album as well. This time around, Xander's vocals is great on that one. I think he gave me kind of a Lennon vibe, actually, the way he was singing on there. Kind of a John Lennon vibe a bit on that song. But still, Take Me to the Top is such a much superior song for me. So Take Me to the Top is my pick. So we go to number 8. Rock All Night off of Standing on the Edge versus Good Girls Go to Heaven, Bad Girls Go Everywhere off of the Doctor. Eddie.
Okay. Neither song is great by any means, but definitely Good Girls Go to Heaven is better than, because the other songs is horrible. The Rock Me All Night, well, it's generic. I mean, this is, now I'm a guy that loves Fly on the Wall. And I like Theater of Pain, so like I'm not against some fucking dumb mid-80s fucking cock rock. I enjoy some dumb mid-80s cock rock. This is stupid. I mean, this is next level. This is like so fucking dumb, that song for Cheap Trick. It's an embarrassment. Come on. Fuck off, guys.
Which one?
No, No, the fucking Rock Me All Night thing.
Rock All Night,
At least
yeah.
the other one, it has kind of that quirky. It has that quirky, funny lyrics. The song's not that great. Musically, it's definitely one of the weaker tracks on the Doctor. But at least the lyrics and the title, it's an attempt to be a little quirky and different. So just from the lyric, just because of the lyrics alone, I give it an edge. And it's all right. Like, I don't skip it when I listen to the Doctor. It's all right. It's a funny lyric, so it definitely has an edge on that. And that other Rock Me Tonight, whatever.
Rock All Night.
Rock All Night. That's horrible. That's just
Almost as horrible as the Billy Squier video, right?
Yeah. Second worst song on the album. It's shitty. So give it to Good Girls. But I like the idea because I'm a fan of slutty women. So I like this idea that good girls go to heaven, but bad girls go everywhere. I wish the song was better. Like I feel like that title deserves a better song, but still the title alone makes it win. So there you go.
All right, Ralph, what do you got?
Well, let me tell you, man, this song "Rock All Night" makes Billy Squier's fucking "Rock Me Tonight" look like Thriller. That fucking song. I mean, what the fuck, really? Like, you hear the Twisted Sister, I want to rock, or Rock of Ages, Def Leppard is all. I mean, I looked to it, I go, man, did Poison write this song? It sounds like a fucking Poison song. A good Poison song, by the way. That's how bad this song is, that it's actually a good Poison song. As far as Good Girls Go to Heaven, no, thank you. What a shit song. But I'll still put it over Rock, whatever the fuck.
Rock Me All Night.
That song fucking, that song makes Bad Girls Go to Heaven sound okay, That's thing.
So that's 2 for the Doctor. Andy, what do you got?
Yeah, I am going to go with the Doctor as well. If you listen to Rock All Night and listen to the lyrics, there's some Def Leppard pulling out of there, big time, as you can tell in the lyrics. And they kind of borrowed a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they stuck it together and made a bad song. So I'm going to go with Good Girls Go to Heaven, Bad Girls Go Everywhere. Just because, like Edwin was saying, dude, the title is just pure cheap trick. I wish it was a better song too, but the title alone wins it. Oh.
Yeah, man, I guess I'm going woke on this one because I'm going with Rock All Night.
Oh, is that woke? Well, it might be.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, both songs suffer from cliched lyrics, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Man, the Good Girls Go to Heaven. The gated drums on there just fucking kind of kills it for me. I know. Bunny says he only wanted to be on the album credits. He only wanted to be credited for acoustic drums or something like that on the album. I read that he didn't want to be taking any credit for any of the electronic drums that Tony Platt put on the album. Because he did put it on afterwards. So, Rock. I mean, they're both songs suck anyway, but I just gave it to Rock All Night. I thought it was a little hookier for me. So, I don't know. Sue me.
We won't, but that's a lone wolf.
Call your lawyers.
I am contacting my lawyer.
I will win that case if I sue you.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a jury. You play the
Yeah, we'll win, bro. Come on. Unless Poison's in the jury, we got it.
Well, actually, yeah, it depends where you're at. It's a bunch of dumb old white chicks. They might go with the other one.
Yeah. Just call me Martin Popoff on this one, on this pick. Anyway, Martin, I love you, bro, but yeah, some of your choices are. I guess that's why you have a channel called The Contrarian. So,
well, there you go. He's a contrarian.
Yeah, I think it does it for effect a little bit there, bro. Anyway, going to number 9 from Standing on the Edge, Cover Girl versus Manipulator from the Doctor. Go ahead, Eddie.
Okay, both aren't particularly good songs. Both these albums are kind of dipping towards the end here. But Cover Girl is another really, really horrible song. It might be the third worst. Yeah, I guess it's like the third worst song on Standing the Edge. But just so you know, third worst song on Standing the Edge is really bad. Like that would be worst song on any other Cheap Trick album. But Standing the Edge, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I guess Busted is better than Standing on the Edge. It's just that there's like this album has two songs I like better than anything on Busted. I like, Tonight's You and the title track. I like better than anything on Busted. But that's it. I mean, but Busted doesn't have anything this shitty. So I don't know. This might be the worst Cheap Trick album. It might be.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely my worst.
It might be, yeah. You might be, yeah. I mean, like I said, like Busted doesn't have anything bad. It's just
Busted has Walk Away, man. I love that song.
yeah. Maybe I'm being a little hard on Busted. this Standing.
Busted does have shitty songs though, but man, I like. Well, there used to be a really cool Cheap Trick podcast called Trick Chat Cheap Talk with the Podfather Ken Mills and
I remember that, yeah.
BJ, who recently wrote a book about Cheap Trick called This Band Has No Name. I highly recommend it. And they've been on our show. We're friends.
They've been on the Rock and Metal, Combat podcast.
Those guys, but man, all of them on Cheap Trick Chat, they all said "You Drive, I Steer" is the shittiest Cheap Trick song ever. I think it's the best song on Busted. I love that fucking song.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to Stand on the Edge. Maybe want to listen to Busted again.
Oh no, Stand on the Edge to me is way worse.
Yeah, it's like I was surprised how bad some of these songs were. Like I said, it's essentially because of two songs that I'm kind of holding on to this album. But yeah, it's really not good. The other song, it's not Mana War.
Manipulator.
Man. Oh yeah, probably the second worst song on the album. It doesn't have the do sound effects, but the song's pretty. It's not that great, but it's kind of weird. It's got some synthy stuff. Isn't this the one where it gets into some weird rock and stuff at the end? The guitar work does some weird distortion.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I'll give it to that. I'll give it to Manipulator. Yeah, I'll give it to. I know it does it with the hyphens. It's kind of
the man you.
I think that book you were mentioning, Ralph, is This Band Has No Past, right? Is that the one?
Oh yeah. This band has no past.
Yeah. So Manipulator. I will give it a win for being a little weirder and having a cool, fucked up sounding guitar distorted thing at the end. So it will win over the other shitty song. So there you go.
All right.
Cover Girl's horrible. Oh my God. Cheap Trick, stop it. Why are you doing shit like that?
All right, Ralph.
Cover Girl is the greatest song ever written.
Eyeball.
That fucking song. Jesus Christ, man. And let me tell you something. Like, Eddie nailed it. Manipulator is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It's to me, musically, it's pretty shitty. But I like the strangeness of it. It's appealing. Even though I hear the shit, I like the weirdness of it. So obviously, yeah, I'm going to give it to Manipulator. Not a fan, but going against Cover Girl, easy win.
Yeah.
All right, Andy.
I don't know who would like that crappy song, Cover Girl. Oh, yeah, I know who. Me.
Whoa!
I like the songwriting. I like the story that it tells. He catches up to this girl in 1985, and now she's a little bit heavier than what she looked when she was a Cover Girl, but it's okay. So I liked Cover Girl. I did not like Manipulator at all. It was like a cheesy Cars song to me. Too much non-Cheap Trick to me. So I went with Cover Girl on that one.
Well, I got to say, Andy, I got to applaud you, dude, for actually taking the time to listen to the lyrics of that shitty song. And actually making sense of that shitty song. Good going, my friend.
I looked at the lyrics and I read the song. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I guess
seriously.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as that song came on, I was just like,
I guess I'm
No,
gonna,
why would they put this at the end? It should be in the middle or lead off track.
I'm gonna continue on the shit show and say the Cover Girl's my favorite.
Yeah.
oh my god!
No,
Listen, this is the first time we had a clean.
and here's probably the reason, because I've lived with this song longer because of the Cheap Trick box set. It was on there. So before
I made that box set.
yeah, before because Standing on the Edge and the Doctor were really like the last two Cheap Trick albums I ever got as a whole. I had the box set before, so Cover Girl was on there, and I don't know, man, maybe because I lived in it longer than Manulipulator, that's why I pick it. But the box set is where I first heard it. That box set is actually one of my favorite box sets, though. I love. They threw a lot of rarities in that set, man. I remember when I first got that box set, I played the hell out of it, man. I was one of my favorite box sets. It still is, actually. Like, I thought, they gave the fans a lot of good rarities on there. Some earlier versions of songs and that cool live set, which they since released. It was the 1977 show.
The whiskey.
The whiskey, yes. So yeah, there was some of that whiskey show on that box set, and I was like, when they released the full show, like for Record Store Day, I was all over that, man.
Well, that they actually released a box
set, CD box set, right?
Of all the shows. I got it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I missed out on that box set. I should have got it, man. I think it's out of print now.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. That record from Record Store Day, that is my favorite Cheap Trick live.
Oh God, that's so great, man.
I like it more than Budokan. And another thing that's very rare about me, I prefer Cheap Trick at Budokan over Cheap Trick the complete concert at Budokan. I prefer the one album.
I agree with you. I mean, even though there's great shit on the other one.
No, I love it.
But I like how live albums used to be like albums. I know Ralph will know what I mean, but like they were kind of presented like an album, like this. These are like 10 songs, and they put together, and they're presented like an album experience rather than just listening to like a long full concert. They're two different things. And yeah, as it's like a tight package of songs, to me it makes a bigger statement. Like it just has
a better representation of that show.
I remember before the complete Budokan, though, they did have Budokan 2. Remember when that came out?
Yeah, which a lot of that is on the complete concert, and then they use some songs from the Dream Police tour.
Yeah, like two or three songs, right, or something.
Yeah, but yeah, most of that is in the complete concert. Like what songs like they did first album song, Speak Now Forever Hold Your Peace is on there. These are songs they did at the original Budokan that were taken out, and they're all on Budokan too. But then there's the Budokan box, the CD box set that brings all the shows in Japan and the DVD.
Yeah, I got that one.
Oh wow!
Of the Japanese TV broadcast.
Yeah, love that. I love that package. It's great. All right, so we're down to the last track.
One thing. That was track 9, and that's the first time we split.
Yeah, that's the first time there was a 50-50 split.
Yeah, first time.
So on to the last track, man. So it's Wild Wild Women from Staying on the Edge versus It's Only Love from the Doctor. Eddie, go ahead, man.
It's an easy one. Wild Wild Women sucks. It's stupid. It's a little bit better than some of the other bad ones because musically they got kind of a little bit of an AC/DC groove on this one. So it's all right. It doesn't sound like Cheap Trick. It sounds like it could be any AC/DC inspired.
Got a Highway to Hell vibe.
Yeah, like mid 80s, cock rock band. It's all right. Robin does sing it really well. Like he does sell the whole Wild Wild Women thing. It's kind of fun. It's all right. It's generic and beneath them in my opinion. So not a great song. Not quite as bad as some of the others, but not great or even good by any means. Whereas It's Only Love is a great song. I love it. I still think Take Me to the Top should have been pushed front and center as the single. I think that's the stronger song, but this definitely should have been it still should have been one of the singles. It's a great, and I believe it was the leadoff single. It's a great song. It's like this is Cheap Trick being poppy, but it's but it's still Cheap Trickish. It's kind of weird. It has like a kind of hard rocking part, but then it's like pure pop, perfection in the chorus. And Xander sings the shit out of it, and it's a great song. It's just a really great, catchy mid-'80s Cheap Trick song, and it's a strong. I like that they end the album with this too. It doesn't really sound like a song that would typically end an album, like the poppy crossover hit of the album, like being the last song. But it works, kind of ties things up in a nice way, and yeah, I love it. I think it's a great song. So to me, there's these songs aren't even, they're different league, just a different league of songwriting and craftsmanship. And I mean, yeah, Xander sings both of them great, but one's a great song and one's a mediocre generic rocker. So there's no question. It's Only Love definitely wins this one.
All right. Ralph, man, what do you got?
Yeah, Wow Wow Women. Yeah, fucking thank God this album's over. What a crap song, man. It's like, God damn, there's no good songs in sight here. And It's Only Love is awesome. It was, I remember seeing the video for this on MTV before I found the album for a couple bucks. And I didn't really think much of it. MTV didn't show it much. I maybe seen it twice. And the video's fucking annoying, man. I don't know if you ever seen that video, but it fucking annoys the piss out of me.
It's Wang Chung. Everybody have fun.
Yeah, it's the Wang Chung video. And I don't even like that fucking Wang Chung video, that constant camera moving.
Yeah,
but what it does have that's kind of like, it broke some thing was that's the only video that featured sign language through the whole song. It was like a nurse doing sign language.
Yeah.
But the song is great, man. The video sucks. So, yeah, of course, man. Come on. The Doctor, man. I don't think did tonight won, right? That was the only one that won for me, right?
Yeah. You just picked one song off of Standing on the Edge.
Yeah, and it was the best song from the album, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
9-1 on that.
I didn't pick. I think I only picked two from.
You picked 3.
I picked 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
All right, Andy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with It's Only Love, Wild Wild Woman or whatever. That song went like nowhere. It was just a boring song without any direction at all. The music was bad, and it was like the band was just putting in another song on there so that they could have 10 on there. So easily, It's Only Love. And for me, that was 5-5. It's a tie for me.
I'm ending it off with It's Only Love as well, so it's another sweep.
Sweep for the Doctor.
Well, It's Only Love was one. Well, I picked 4 from the Doctor and 1, 2, 3, 4,
And 6 from
6 for
Yeah, you actually lean towards Standing on the Edge.
Standing on the Edge. I like Standing on the Edge a little bit better. But It's Only Love, I think, is a really good song. Wild Wild Women, I don't hate that song either, though. I think it's a good rocker. It's a good way to end the album, but It's Only Love is just more crafted better. And I mean, Wild Wild Women they just kind of sounded like they were going for like a Highway to Hell vibe on it, which is, it rocks, but it's not like a good song like It's Only Love. I like It's Only Love. The video, yeah, it's definitely Wang. And Wang Chung, that I think that came out the same year, 86. So I don't know which video was first, actually. So I don't know. Somebody was biting off somebody else. So
86 thing.
It's an 86 thing, But yeah, It's Only Love for me. So that's a sweep. So overall, though, what do you got, Andy? You got an overall?
Overall, the Doctor wins 6-3.
Yeah, Doctor.
Yeah.
And there was one song was a tie, which was
Split. Yeah, it was
the
split.
split off of CoverGirl and Manipulator. But the Doctor won 6-3. Ed went more towards the Doctor on his. He went 7-3. Dr. Fuck went 9-1. The Doctor. And I
What was
went
the one? Wait, hold on. Ralph, what was the one that you picked off of Standing on the Edge? The title track?
No, tonight is
Tonight It's You.
It's you. Okay.
Tonight
All
It's
right.
You.
Tonight It's You is what he picked.
Okay.
And me was 50-50 on it. So I guess I liked both albums, or both albums were just okay. And then Al has Standing on the Edge
6-4. Right?
6-4, yeah.
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 All right, man. So yeah, that's that. Thank you guys for being on. Andy, what do we got
thank you
next
so
week?
much. Yeah, next week. Are we going back on Wednesdays next week, Al?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on next Wednesday, we got a really good show. And I think Metal Mike is already going to be on this one.
Ooh, Metal Mike's gonna be on. I gotta check that out.
I gotta contact him. This is going to be same song title, different song. Now,
Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
now, if you think about it, just think of Black Sabbath and David Bowie changes.
Bad Boy Boogie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Black Sabbath in the Smithereens, Behind the Wall of Sleep. Which I love both songs, man.
Okay. You know what? Speaking of no, it wasn't the Smithereens.
There's a couple. There's a whole bunch of Jailbaits. They're all great too. Every song called Jailbait's great, by the way.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing next Wednesday. I thought that this was going to be kind of hard, but then after one night, I was like, we're going to have to do a part 2 to this episode.
There's a lot of songs that got the same damn title.
Yeah. So we're doing that next Wednesday at 7:00 Central Time.
8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be starting an hour earlier now because we were normally starting at 9 Eastern. Now we're pushing it up to 8. So that's gonna be our normal time now.
Yeah, it is.
Eddie, what do you got coming up, man? Anything
We were on hiatus. The Rock Overview podcast was on a hiatus, but we are back. Yeah, Eric has worked out some of his shit. So probably starting next month, we're going to start recording some new episodes. We still have a really cool, fun episode about the second Vinnie Vincent Invasion album. That was a fun album to review. With Samuel Wetz was our guest on that one, and Eric's working on that one, editing. So that will be the next episode that comes out, maybe in the next few weeks. So yeah, if you're a Kiss fan, and if you're such a Kiss tard that you actually like Vinnie Vincent like solo albums, yeah, so listen to that. That'll be coming out in a few weeks. It's a funny review. It's always funnier when, well, spoiler alert, when maybe one of us doesn't really like the album a lot. So if you want to hear some Vinnie Vincent bashing, that will be coming out in a few weeks. And I got a Jaws related video, so I do some movie stuff. I know Ralph's a big Jaws fan like me. That's going to be actually my next YouTube video. I want to start mixing a little movie stuff with the music stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of both the music.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
just real quick on the Jaws thing.
Yeah.
When I was still living in New Jersey, my wife and I, my daughter had never seen the movie, so we went and actually saw it we went to a theater that had the orchestra playing the score of it along with the movie live.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
And that was fucking awesome. And my daughter loved it, man. Like she literally she jumped certain times, and we all know the movie, but for her, to see her watch it for the first time was kind of a thrill for me because it's
to see it on the big screen and with an orchestra doing that amazing John Williams score. Yeah,
I saw it like a year ago in 3D, and it was unbelievable.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you a thing I never knew about Jaws till last week, and if you guys might know that I am a Jaws fanatic.
Yeah.
I know everything about Jaws, but here's something that shocked me. Pippet didn't die.
They say that off screen. I mean,
no,
you don't
say it off screen. After that scene, you see Pippet.
You do? What scene?
the scene where Sheriff Brody is running. Remember when after the dog? Well,
When
dog,
it's in the pond, when he's running to like the pond where
after he ate Alex.
Okay, yeah.
Remember in the pond?
Yeah, in the
The
pond.
chick was like, "Shark!"
Yeah.
You see the dog.
Yeah, when Brody is running on the wood little thing, the
Yeah.
dog is right there, man.
Well, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I never noticed that. I always assumed he died, but they never showed you.
Somebody else noticed it and pointed it out on YouTube. I was like, "Fuck!"
So it can't be on that site, doesthedogdie.com. You know about that site?
No.
There's a site for woke people that are very sensitive. It's doesthedogdie.com. So people go to just to make sure if they're about to watch a movie, they want to make sure does the dog die or not. Obviously they don't see spoiler alert the John Wick movies. But anyway, so or like Lassie Comes Home or Old Yeller. No, that's the one. Old Yeller dies. But anyway, so people go. It's an actual real website. People go to make sure dogs don't die. So I don't know if Tippett so it can't be on that now. But
they got to take that down.
They got to take that down. You never saw him. You just saw, but it did imply it because you saw the stick or the floating in the water.
Right.
There was the implication.
But the very sad news in reality, Pippet really is dead now.
Oh, you would have to. Yeah.
Oh, well, them dog ears got to him, I'm sure.
And every time I see a movie that's even 20 years ago, I'm like, that dog died. That cat's dead.
I was watching like Frasier the other day. I was like, Eddie's dead. Martin's dead too. I was like, Eddie's definitely dead. Yeah. So it's a very niche Jaws video. Very niche. It's about a specific shot that I've always been obsessed with. So it's actually me deconstructing a shot, like a single shot in Jaws for like about 10 minutes. So definitely a Jaws fanatic like Ralph would probably be interested in that. So that's going to probably drop on Monday. I'm going to probably.
And also, if you notice, Ben Gardner's head coming out of the boat had no mustache.
Well, I thought that was a little like it was in the water. I'll have to
look at it again. There's no mustache on that.
Maybe the shark bit the mustache off.
The shark ate the mustache.
He ate the mustache.
All right, Ralph, man, what do you got coming up? Anything?
Yeah, at 2:35 a.m. tonight on 163rd Street, I will be sucking cock at that glory hole over there. 2:35. Don't be late.
Is that right in the heart of Miami?
Yeah, it's the heart of crackhead town. Crackhead cock is the best.
So that's after 2:00, after all the clubs start closing.
Yeah, when all the crackheads come out. I'll be sucking cock for free, everybody. Between 2:35 and 1:35 tomorrow morning. I'm going to be there for almost 12 hours.
Wow, you're crossing gates.
I'm going to go for the full 12 hours of sucking cock.
And in that time, a dog's going to die.
Several dogs will die in that time period.
All right, man.
Yeah, what's my plug?
Oh yeah. Also, on my other podcast, 3 Shots Down, we just released a it's called An American Tragedy: The Plane Crash of Leonard Skinner. We just put that out there on 3 Doors Down with me, Kate Doré, and Jerry Soupy. So be sure to check that out. That's on all other podcasting shows. Like it's on Apple and Spotify and Podbean. So if y'all want to check it out, we've been getting a lot of very good feedback on those. So we just put that one out yesterday or the day before.
Ain't it fucked up that in 1977, Leonard Skinner had a plane crash, and now in 2024, Leonard Skinner is having a lot of train wrecks.
Hey, listen, man. Scab Skinner.
We'll get F. Skinner for a long time since that plane crash.
A very long time.
Longer than the original band.
Yeah, well, actually, they might be the longest scab act ever. So they might.
I stopped right there. I stopped at 77. I don't listen.
Yeah, you get
after that.
You're a wise man. I don't go anywhere after Ronnie Van Zant.
No, after that, I don't
You
care
know
if
Skinner,
brother
yeah.
Johnny's there.
It's
No,
not
no.
Skinner, man.
That's Bushy what his favorite Skinner album is. It's probably
Who's favorite?
it's probably God and Guns or something like
God,
that.
yeah,
God, the God's pretty good. Pretty good.
pretty good.
It's better than Street Survivors.
Yeah.
No, but that band completely lost everything that they stood for. Or the original band stood for. It went way off track. I mean,
Oh yeah, they were always like this nuanced, more complicated view of the South, and then they became a caricature of the South afterwards. Yeah, totally different band.
totally different. It's not even close to.
Ronnie would hate it. Actually, he would.
Oh yeah, definitely.
hated that shit.
Of course, because that message is completely opposite of what he was.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, and just the music. It just, I only sampled it a couple times. I was like, oh. Like, I was like, I didn't even bother. I couldn't even listen past a couple songs. It's just like that ain't Skinner.
Oh, that's bad.
No, that's horrible.
All right, man. Well, that's for the show for tonight. Thank you, Eddie. Thanks, Ralph. I appreciate it, man.
All right, guys.
You guys rule.
OU812 is better than Rubber Soul.
On that note, smack him a butt gob and
Smack him a gob.
have a great night. Take care, everybody.
Thanks a lot,
Later,
guys.
everyone. Lots of fun.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.